Okay, so as a follow-up to the last video where we were critical of Demetrius Andrade's deal or re-signing with Banner Promotions and Star Boxing, I was informed that the new split, which while it works in Demetrius's favor, the new split is 25% for Banner Promotions, 25% for Star Boxing, and 50% for Demetrius Andrade or 18 Promotions, as he has his own company, 18 Promotions. So he's in a multi-year promotional contract. Listen, it's his prerogative. If he's happy with re-signing and he's happy with the new deal, that's one thing. Fantastic. I wish him the best. However, how does it translate to him getting fights? Here's a kid who, when you look at trends, when you look at patterns, okay, better deal is fine. But then how does it translate to the ring? Remember, we talked about the gift. We talked about the curse. We know what the kid can do in the ring. I would favor him over the majority of 154-pound fighters. Shout out to Lauren Shabotkin for keeping me well informed on things. I appreciate that, brother. Now, the time to make a move is now. We've talked about a lot of guys fighting tune-ups, fighting stiffs, fighting nobodies. In this case, due to inactivity, I'd give Andrade a pass. I'd give him 2 passes to just get himself together as far as in the ring and fighting 2 guys that he should beat. Maybe one for just to get some rounds in, and then maybe a slight step up, and then it's time to go for the gold after that. And I'm receiving assurances, and listen, my whole thing was questioning, where do we go? Where do we go from here? I'm receiving assurances that big things are coming. When you re-sign, I think that's the belief from all parties. When you re-sign a contract, that along with better terms, the belief is that brighter days are coming. I want to believe that. I do believe it. Until it translates to something concrete in the ring, the skepticism is it's not just gonna run in my household. It's gonna run for boxing fans, and that's all we can do is speculate. Hopefully, at the turn of when we hit 2017 is going to be a big year for Andrade. I like to not only see him get into a meaningful fight, but from an activity standpoint, I just love to see the kid busy. Not fighting once a year, not fighting twice a year. To be honest, 3 times a year is for some guys, especially talented guys in their prime, in my opinion, that doesn't cut it. Anything above that, okay, is acceptable. So the deal itself before I was informed, I didn't know what the deal was. But I'm not. My concern isn't the deal itself. The re-signing, I mean, if that's what he did, that's fine. How does the re-signing translate to fights? So in other words, money isn't my concern. Whatever the split is, the split is. My concern is with achievement. My concern is what's going to happen in the ring. My concern is title shots or fantastic matchups. Some of which we've seen in the past with this kid, but we really need to see more. I'm tired of seeing fights and saying, okay, on paper, it looks like this can happen or that can happen. What we want to see is not the fights being made, not contracts being signed and back and forth and litigation and so on and so forth. What we want to see are fights, good ones, so we can see what these kids are made of. And in his case, he's definitely someone who has given us entertainment in the past, and we just want to see it as fans, as journalists, as videographers and photographers and what have you. So the big things are coming. We'll be locked, we'll be loaded, we'll be tuned in, and we like to see this kid. I interviewed Demetrius a couple of years ago in Washington, D.C. And listen, brash, cocky, bold, whatever you want to call it, skill-wise, the kid can back it up. And he promoted himself, and he quitted himself very well in that interview and put the world on notice. Well, hopefully 2017 and moving forward, we'll get some activity, we'll get some big fights, and we'll see what this kid is made of. We'll see what his opponent is made of. And when you have this many people, and I'm not speaking about Demetrius, I'm talking about boxing as a whole. When you see these many undefeated fighters, there's a problem. And I understand the landscape and the thought process and things like that have changed, but we need to match some of these O's. And I'm talking about on the same level playing field. I'm not talking about someone who built their record up in another country where boxing is, where he's fighting his nephew 25 times. I'm speaking of even matchups, undefeated guys. You get a loss, you acquit yourself well, so what? Come on back. Look at your all-time greats. None of those guys were undefeated, but we all hold them to a high standard, high esteem. So, all right, Demetrius, Banner, Star, get it together, and we're looking for bigger and better things moving forward. Follow us on Twitter at The Fight Journal. Check us out at thefightjournal.com. Type your email address in to follow us on the website, and all of our interviews, videos, audio, so on and so forth will come straight to your email. You won't have to look for us. We'll find you. You definitely want to follow our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be giving away money and prizes in the first quarter of 2017. And one of the requirements are that you follow us follow our YouTube channel. And let me give a shout out to DPG Uncut TV for the latest hip-hop and entertainment news. I want to give a shout out to Thunderdome Boxing Talk. Definitely follow them. Fans, give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think. We definitely like to hear what you have to say as far as just as far as Demetrius. Let's as far as him as an in-ring talent. Who would you like to see him matched up with? And how do you think it would? What do you think the result will be? How would it wind up? Shout out to Strictly Boxing News, another channel that we follow. And Lauren Spotkin, thank you for the info and about the promotional split. And we'll catch you in the next one.